Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blizzard Watch Plays Pathfinder 2. We're doing a Rise of the Runelords campaign, which is pretty ambitious of us, considering that many of us, including myself, have never actually gotten to run this or play it in some cases. So yeah, it's a learning experience. We are learning as we go. I'm going to just have people introduce themselves, and we'll just jump straight into things, because last time we left on kind of a quiet point, and then we haven't gotten to play in a while, so I'm sure everyone's at least a little rusty. I'm going to start with Anne.
Hi, I'm Anne Stickney. I'm playing an elf, rogue, level 2, Swift Flickerwind, and I vaguely remember what we were doing, kind of, sort of, but not really, so this is going to be fun.
Okay, Liz.
Hello, I am Elizabeth Harper, and I am playing a Varsha, a rat folk alchemist, and I, at least know 5% of what I'm doing here, so I am on top of things, ready to go. And I also have, I have a tiny rat familiar, which is a totally normal rat, nothing strange about it.
Awesome. 4%, you're probably 4% ahead of where I am. So, Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe Perez. You may know me from every other podcast we do. I am playing Ogwish, and while it is not Wednesday, my dudes, I am definitely a frogman.
Nick?
Hi, Nick Marino. I am playing Shiro, a human gunslinger, and I just found my notes, so I'm stoked. We're in a bar, or have taken room.
Technically a
pub.
Technically a pub because it has rooms upstairs.
Well, you threw him. Good job, Joe.
Game over.
I didn't press the button to talk. It's been a while. I was saying things, and then I was like, why is there so much dead air? I said things. Thanks, Joe. We are at a pub.
I don't know if Phil, who is our final player and this is his first session, I don't know if he can actually talk yet. So we're going to just move along, and Phil, you can introduce yourself when you're ready to go.
Okay.
Oh, are you ready to go?
Yeah. You can hear me. Good.
Go ahead and introduce your character.
Sure. I'm Phil Ulrich, and I'm playing Tarn Summerbloom, a halfling investigator who is definitely not just a 3-foot-tall Columbo.
Well, of course not, because Columbo
this is
was a
be
3-foot-tall Columbo.
Exactly.
All right. Go ahead, Liz.
I mean, now that you say he's not just a 3-foot-tall Columbo, I'm immediately less interested. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just like your rat's a perfectly ordinary rat.
Totally ordinary.
Nothing to see here. All right. As you guys pointed out, you were in I can't remember her name, and I've got her right in front of me, so this is amazing on my part. Ameko Kaijitsu. You were in her tavern / bar / pub / whatever you want to call it, the Rusty Dragon. You were just the witness of a confrontation between her and her father. She has now gone upstairs, and the nighttime is coming on. You guys previously met her during the unpleasantness as the local Sandport festival was interrupted by goblin attack. You're at the moment you're kind of the town heroes, having fended off that attack, but now you're trying to figure out why the goblins attacked and all sorts of other stuff. There's lots of things to try and figure out, and so we'll now move in to what y'all are doing. Phil, straight up, your character has probably been hired by the town to investigate, because that's the easiest way to get you into things.
That makes sense. So
the mayor of the town, who's a bit of a fop and kind of an odd little man, his name's Tickwood Boar, and nope, it's not. I'm sorry, it's Alderon Foxglove. Tickwood Boar is a monster that's directly above him on the thing. Tickwood Boar. Yes, I should have just gone with it. Actually, I am just going with it. His name is Tickwood Boar. I don't care. He's basically hired you to discover what the deal is with these goblin attacks, and he's told you about this group of heroes who stepped in and saved the day, and that you could find them at the Rusty Dragon. So just as you guys are getting done with Amiko and like trying to figure out what's going to go on, Are you basically, what are you wearing? Go ahead and describe yourself to them.
Okay. So as I said, he's he's a male halfling. Him. 3'1", I think is what I put down. Cheery little guy, round face, curly mop of black hair. He's got kind of a weather-beaten hat from being on the road. It may have had a shape once, but not so much anymore. It's kind of a longish coat for a halfling, under which you can see leather armor, and he has a rapier strapped to his side because nowhere is safe. And he has a little pipe that he has not lit right now. So.
Does he have a dog?
No. Tarn travels solo.
Did the tip of the rapier scrape against the ground as he walks?
Oh, it's a halfling appropriately sized rapier. So
it's a main gouge.
Only a little when he's running. Obviously.
But yes, you all see this halfling walk in. He's brushing the soot and grease from his face from the fires that are going on around town, and he immediately makes a beeline for you. I shouldn't tell you guys what he does. He's right here. He can tell you what he does, but I'm going to give that. He makes a beeline for you guys because he recognizes you from the descriptions. And now it's role playing time. Go.
Hey Matt, you ready to be annoyed with the investigator?
Oh, I am hoping you will be useful to me here. Let me put it to that.
Oh, I have a class feature called That's Odd, which is going to kick in right now because I entered a new location. And it says whenever I enter a new location, such as a room or corridor, you immediately notice something out of the ordinary. The GM determines what it is or whether there's nothing reasonable to pick up, skipping obvious clues that can be easily noticed without a check or specifically looking for them. Is there anything odd in this inn besides this random assortment of heroes who drove off the goblins?
They're not that weird, actually. You see stuff like this all the time. However, the first thing you notice, I am super glad you're here. The first thing you notice is that there's a bunch of papers on the bar top. And in those papers, there's one sheet of paper that it's out from the pile. It is a different kind of paper. In fact, it's not wood paper at all. You're fairly certain that it is some kind of parchment. And it's got weird, it's like dog-eared. Like it's been read several times.
Is it possible for me to kind of casually swing past the bar on the way to the table and try to filch this one piece of parchment? Like, is anybody watching it?
Nobody seems to be looking at it directly. It'll be a weird little, it'll look like you decided to go to the bar, then decided you didn't want to drink after all. Plus there's nobody behind the bar right now. So you can do it. I want you to make, I'm not sure what the check should be for this. Go ahead and make a check that you think would be appropriate and tell me what you did. Like, go ahead and use whatever skill you think would be good for obscuring this.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm not super familiar with Pathfinder's skill system myself. Probably. Let's say probably stealth. Stealth or thievery seem appropriate here because I'm basically trying to make this not noticeable. I was going to say thievery has the palm and object skill. You pick up a small unattended object and try not to be noticed. So.
Yeah, that would probably work.
Okay, I'm going to roll that. So it's d20 plus 7, looks like. Okay, so 8 plus 7 would be a 15.
Okay, is anybody particularly watching the halfling?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a question before I answer that. How many people are in the bar at this point? I believe the proprietor left to go upstairs.
Last I checked, it was basically left to us, and there was one patron.
Right.
Drinky Joe. There's Drinky Joe over in the corner. He's a massive... you're actually not sure what he is. He doesn't look to be human, but like he's...
Yeah, Ogwish has just been staring at him very intently the entire time, trying to figure out what he is. Completely
more drink than man.
Completely oblivious to any social norms at this point.
Then I am definitely watching the new guy who's come in, keeping an eye out.
Swift, like the second the new guy walked through the door, Swift was like, "Oh, this is interesting," and has been watching him ever since.
Ogwish is too.
Stops.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
I was gonna say Ogwish is too focused on Drinky Joe. He's not. He's like, okay, new guy came in. I still don't know what this one is.
Hero's watching, but as everyone else is watching, he's just gonna casually refill his drink, hoping no one notices him.
All right. I'm gonna figure out exactly how you guys should detect this if you can.
Perception?
Yeah, actually that works. I was just gonna get the skill book part of the book open so I would have it in front of me. Yeah, absolutely. Go make some. If people want to try and notice this, go ahead and make a perception check. Tell me like how well you do in terms of successes.
20.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
11.
18.
Okay, 11. Nah, he didn't notice, and Ogden the frog monk, he's not paying attention. Right? You say, Joe?
Ogwish is not paying attention to the new guy.
Okay, so the two of you do seem to notice him. He does a good job of sauntering and looking like, don't mind me, I'm just a halfling, but you still see, because he's got a pipe in his hand that isn't lit, he only has the one hand to do this. And I mean, you're a rogue, from snatching things, and you're just really, as a rat person, you're extremely, if you know rats, you know how they're like, whoa, wait, what? Like, so you notice because you're on edge. You just always notice things. So yeah, the two of you notice, the other two of you do not. You see him pull a piece of paper out of the pile.
Yeah, Swift's just going to literally just saunter up to the guy, because the only other person here is the guy that's Drinky Joe or whatever, right? That's it. And then
my name is Drinky Joe.
Yeah, so she's
of the drink I know, the bellowing of the sea, and he's singing that in the
great. Well, singing is kind of subjective, but that's okay. No, Swift is just going to sidle up to the stranger at the bar and go, "What you got there?"
As this elf comes up to you and immediately accosts you, I'm sending a link now in our D&D channel so you can see what you got.
Yeah, it's not even accosting. She's just curious and friendly.
Oh, well, I'll turn to her and go, well, that's funny. I was about to bring this to you all because I'm assuming you guys are the heroes of the day. I'm assuming it's not the booze elemental over there in the corner, right?
No, he's occupied.
My pain comes over the ocean. Wait, this isn't the right song. What was I singing?
He'll offer a little hand, and he's heading over to the table. And he's Tarn Summerbloom, hired investigator.
Ogwish is still watching the guy sing. Doesn't even pay attention to Tarn.
Wait, repeat the name. I'm sorry.
Tarn, Tarn, Summerbloom.
So
sorry, I'm just writing everybody's names down so I remember.
Fair enough.
So you're an investigator. You have some idea of what's going on here.
Yeah, Tarn will kind of lead Swift back over to everybody else, I guess, and pull up a stool and then climb onto the stool. Actually climb it. And say,
you're not much. I don't think you're much shorter than the rat folk. I'm pretty sure.
That's good.
Yes, I am. I am literally a rat. So we're probably about the same height.
Yeah, I think I was
going to say,
and then embellished this height a little. So Tarn is actually a little tall for a halfling at 3'3".
The three of us are very small.
Yeah,
I'm just picturing a halfling trying.
I'm picturing a halfling trying to do the Riker maneuver on a bar stool. They would have to have a stool to get on the stool.
Yeah, there's climbing involved, and then you kind of jump to the next stool. And he'll plop this thing down on the table, and he says, "Well, this stuck out at me as soon as I walked in, and thought maybe you all would have something to do with what happened here. I don't know." And so the letter that
since this
in Discord,
since we can't, we're doing this for people, and we can't put it up on screen or anything. If you choose to, you can read it. Just read it for people to hear.
I'm going to read it. Do you want me to read it aloud, or do you want Phil to read it aloud?
No, you can do it if you want to.
Go right ahead and read it aloud.
It says, "Hello, sis. I hope this letter finds you well and with some free time on your hands, because we've got something of a problem. It's to do with Father. Seems that he might have had something to do with Sandpoint's recent troubles with the goblins, and I didn't want to bring the matter to the authorities because we both know he'd just weasel his way out of it. You've got some pull here in town, though. If you can meet me at the Glassworks at midnight tonight, maybe we can figure out how to make sure he faces the punishment he deserves. Knock twice, and then 3 times more, and then once more at the delivery entrance, and I'll let you in. In any case, I don't have to impress upon you the delicate nature of this request. If news got out, these local rubes would assume that you and I were in on the whole thing too, don't you? They've got no honor at all around these parts. I still don't understand how you could stand to stay here. Anyway, don't tell anyone about this. There are other complications as well, ones that I'd rather talk to you in person about tonight. Don't be late. Tsuto? Tsuto. Tsuto.
So
Well, that's
you guys have now
interesting.
all heard that because, yeah, it's been read out loud. So now you all know that note exists.
That looks like a meeting I'd like to get in on.
At this point, Ogwish will stop paying attention to Drinky Joe and look over. I mean, it seems pretty obvious what we're going to do next then. So what time is it right now?
I mean, there's no clock in the room. You're pretty sure it's at least like 9 or 10 p.m.
Well, we have a short amount of time to make our ways to... What is the Glassworks?
I assume they make glass there?
Shiro finishes his drink and says, I don't know, but I'm sure we can find out.
I look and I turn back to Drinky Joe. Mr. Joe of the drink, what is the Glassworks?
It's where they make glass.
Where is it?
Up the hill.
Thank you.
Like
And I pour him
Like
another drink.
If you head towards the old/new church, it's just past that.
Most excellent. Thank you. And I pour him a very large drink. I don't know what it is.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone. You didn't even see him drink it.
I just pat him on the head.
Hey, Joe,
Mm-hmm.
when you say new old church?
Well, it got burned down a few years back,
Oh.
and the old priest got killed, and his daughter vanished.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I have a book that was
And then,
talking about that, right?
Miko's brother Suto vanished. I guess
Oh, right.
he was supposedly in love with Noalia, but she had loved some Varisian guy, and then he vanished. Nobody knew what happened to him, and then then the church burned down, and some goblins attacked the town, and the daughter vanished, and the old priest got killed. Yeah, he's buried.
Did they ever find the body for the priest?
Oh yeah, it's buried. It's in a tomb under the church.
Oh, okay.
It's a crypt,
Oh.
I think.
Dad, you made that sound real ominous. Is it like...
Well, no, it's just that I remember everybody was really excited. I was like, why are we excited that the guy that we buried this dude in a tomb? And they weren't like, it's not a tomb, it's a crypt. And I'm like, okay, I don't know the difference.
I mean, that's
Kind of
still a
a better
perfectly logical
word.
place for bodies to go. That's
Crypt does have a certain ring to it.
I believe crypt would imply slight more vastness.
Yeah, because it's got space.
A lot of room for activities. Understood.
Well, no, I don't think you're supposed to do anything down there. I mean, if it's the whole purpose is to put dead people in it, and hopefully dead people aren't doing anything.
Well, sometimes the dead aren't really always 100% all the way dead. So who knows? It'll be fun to find out.
You're a disturbing little frog man.
And you are a wonderfully large drunk man. I like you.
Okay.
well, Mr. Joe, you say this pseudo fellow, you said he disappeared?
Well, I mean, he didn't vanish into thin air or nothing. He just left. He told his dad to do something anatomically impossible, and then he left. And I think he did it he wanted us all to hear him say it because he didn't say it in their language. He said it, in common or Varisian, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
And then he was out. He flounced on out. His sister had to then pick up the slack of taking care of the old man.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Holy cow, you're an elf.
Yeah.
I did not notice.
I mean, people miss the ears all the time.
No, I saw the ears, but I just figured you had ears. I didn't realize. I'd forgotten that I don't have ears like that.
What are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a dwarf. He is at least 8 feet tall.
I don't.
You are unusually tall for a dwarf. I mean,
Do
I
dwarves
assume that's why...
Do dwarves expand when they drink?
No, I'm cursed.
Oh.
That's why I don't have a beard.
Oh, that is sad.
Actually, no, I shaved a beard. That's not a curse.
How did you get cursed? Did you get cursed?
You cursed me?
No, I'm asking if you did get cursed.
Oh, no.
Did you
Yeah, I did get cursed. 5,000 years ago, I wasn't here. I hadn't been born yet.
I figured.
But my great, maybe just okay, great grandfather led our people up from the underground into the world of the blue sky, and we built our fastness not far from here. But then the rock fell from the sky and destroyed old Aslan, and yeah, lots of stuff happened, and we lost our sky fortress, and then the curse, I guess, the curse was put on us to never see our home again.
Like how many empty glasses are in front of this guy? Just out of curiosity.
Oh geez, the table is covered in them.
Do I believe
yeah.
anything that this guy is telling me?
I'm not even gonna make you roll. You think he thinks he's telling the truth at the moment, but you're not 100% sure that he knows what the truth is, or even where he is, or what he is.
Can I tell what he is?
You have there's like a knowledge skill you have.
I've got Arcana. I've got nature.
I
Society.
I have anatomy lore.
Okay, you can make an anatomy lore or nature or decent checks for this.
Okay, I'll do nature.
Okay, let's go. 12. I rolled really bad.
1. But it with the 5.
Well, with that 5, I'll let you get. You really don't think he's a dwarf.
Yeah.
But with the 12, I'll let you think he might be some kind of giant kin, some sort of giant. You're not sure, but he is 8 feet tall and very broad across the shoulder. He's a very large being.
Like a
He's literally a large being. He does kind of look like that. Like he does.
Okay.
He does sort of have a dwarfish look to him, but he doesn't have a beard, and his ears are enormous and pointed, and he is just sitting there. Like he's also kind of purple, not like bright purple, but if you know how somebody who could be jaundiced, they're not really yellow, but they kind of have a yellow tinge to them.
Like the undertone here.
Yeah, he has a soft purple undertone to his skin. Like if maybe he got sunburned once and just kept doing it. It's the only thing you've just not seen this particular skin color before.
Well, thank you for the information. I hope you get the curse removed somehow.
Yeah, who cursed me?
I don't know.
I got to go find him. And he lurches to his feet, and he's like, "Oh wow, I don't like this." And he sits back down, and now he's like put his head down, like as far down as he can get it, which, considering he is sitting in a chair that is made for a human-sized person, like he's wedged into this thing real tight. And it also
like an adult sitting in one of those little kindergarten chairs.
Kinda, yeah. As he stood up, you also realized that he has a really narrow waist and wide hips and an extremely round butt. Like it's just, he looks like he's physical perfection except for his drink gut.
Is he still awake?
He's just bent over, like kind of breathing deeply, going, "Oh, this isn't good. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, this isn't good."
Can I put a bucket underneath his head and then
this isn't
simultaneously tap his pockets to see if he has anything worth taking?
Okay, sure. Go ahead and tap his pockets. I mean, I guess that would be another perception check. Yeah, go ahead. Like, I'll let you get the bucket in there for free. I don't think that would require a check.
Okay. 20, not natural, just a 11 plus 9.
That's interesting. 1 second. There feels like something metal in there. Like you tapped his pocket and there's something metal in his pocket. It doesn't feel like a coin. It's too big. I mean, it's too big even if it were a coin at his scale. It's too big even for that.
Do I dare? Did he react at all to me tapping his pants?
He's still bent over going, "This isn't good. This is not good."
Could I go over and like take him a glass of water and maybe do a treat wounds to like help him sober up so he could walk out of here?
I mean, you don't know that he does walk out of here. Like, for all you know, he's staying here.
Yeah, well, he can walk wherever he wants.
You can try, sure. You don't know if he's going to be particularly able to pay attention.
Well, I rolled a 17 for treat wounds.
Well, he's not wounded, so you're just trying to figure out how to detox him. And
you have the treat wounds poison or no?
I have treat poison. I mean, you can use either of those with medicine.
So yeah, you think he's just significantly intoxicated. if he falls asleep here, probably the best thing to do would be to leave him to sleep,
Hmm.
because that's the fastest way his body will purge some of this.
Uh,
But you don't really know, because you're really not sure what he is.
hmm.
Yep, Tarn has lit his pipe at this point and just stops to go. I'm telling you, he's either some kind of booze elemental or some kind of very small giant. It just goes back to smoking.
Hey, Joe, buddy, you're not looking too good. Tell you what, you stay right there in that chair, and when you come back, I'll get you another drink. Or when we come back, I'll get you another drink.
Don't
Okay.
encourage him.
He has now started snoring.
I'll take that as a yes. I want to check his pocket now.
Okay, go for it. You're gonna have to make a thievery check to do it, although you probably won't have to roll very high.
11. 7 plus 4.
Yeah, that's enough. It's basically this is you could do this. This is the difficulty that an untrained person could do it. It's just, if you'd rolled extremely poorly, you might have woken him up. But an 11 is at the DC. It's a little bit above it, and so you manage to get your hand in there. There's something fuzzy. There's a fuzzy thing in there.
Oh,
You
God,
don't know
is
what
it
it
a hole
is.
in his pants?
No, it just feels like you actually hear a little noise, and as your fingers clamp in on the metal thing and begin withdrawing it, something goes and you grabs onto it, and you're pulling the thing out, and it's some kind of metal thing, but there's a squirrel attached to it.
What?
A squirrel. He had a squirrel in his pocket, and the squirrel has grabbed the metal thing that you were trying to remove.
I'm just gonna hold the metal thing up and and look at the squirrel, and I want to turn to Varsha and ask if this is her rat's cousin.
Okay, that's rude. That's just rude.
I'm just saying. Maybe you could help, please.
Is this a normal squirrel?
I mean, it doesn't doing anything particularly unusual at the moment, other than clinging to that
Is it hurt?
disc.
I can't imagine it's in one piece after being in
Yeah,
his pocket.
does it
No, it's
look
fine.
like it's in good health?
Yeah, it looks fine.
Okay, that's
There's also several acorns fell out when it came out. It had acorns in there with it.
well,
Big man, big pockets, lots of room for squirrels.
Yeah.
yeah, it does look well fed.
I think you're stealing his pet.
Is the metal thing a box? Is it open, or does it look like it has an opening of any
It's a
kind?
large disc with a leather back on it, and on the front of it is a several pointed star.
Does that look familiar to me at all?
Same.
Arcana or occultism checks to identify it.
All right.
Yeah, same for both, so. Okay. Oh, natural 20 plus 6, 26.
11 plus 1, 12.
5 plus 8, so not that good. Not as good as everyone else.
Okay. It's a 7-pointed kind of star made of shards. Like it's embossed on the metal. What little this is, and your character got the highest roll, right?
Yeah, I had a natural 20.
Yeah. So you've heard of it. It's called the Sihedron, or Shattered Star, and this is a representation of it. The real one is much bigger and intensely magical. This is just some kind of representation of it.
Do I know anything about what that's about? The Hedron? Is it like a religious thing or a?
Back in the before Varizia was Varizia, there was an empire named Thalassion here, and the Sihedron was the sigil of the 7 rulers of that empire. They called themselves the Sihedron lords. Most people today would refer to them as Runelords. Runes was the power that they used to control the area, including giants. The other thing about this is, while it is supposedly a Sihedron, it is the Sihedron symbol. It's marred.
Like it looks old, or
no? It does look old. It looks extremely old, but it also has like marks across it, like if you took a clawed hand and just dragged it across the thing, and it's about the size of a small dinner plate. Like not like a full-fledged one, but if you had like tea on a coaster, it's about the size of the coaster.
does it have? Is it just a disc, or does it have anything?
There's a leather backing to it that it's basically riveted into, and the metal part, it comes up in a dome, and the leather part then it could be folded over it or pulled back to reveal it.
Like a little pocket kind of thing.
Kind of like imagine if you like if you've got a billfold, like a small billfold.
Yeah.
The kind that just has two folds. It's like that. Like you could fold this thing over it, or you could fold it back. Like whenever you see somebody like hold, someone saying I'm Tarn, investigator, and he would hold up his investigator credential, similar to that.
That's odd. And the squirrel is intent on keeping this thing?
Mm-hmm. Certainly seems so. It's if you know squirrels, you know that they can make a lot of noise, and it is making a lot of noise. But he seems to be drunk enough that he is not responding.
Can I entice it with a plate from the bar and an acorn that fell out of his pocket?
I mean, you can attempt to do that. You don't know that it would necessarily change things.
Yeah, let me try that.
All right, go ahead. Not sure what that would be roll wise. Blah blah blah. Come on.
Is that deceiving an animal?
I'm gonna say that's got to be deception or nature. If you use deception, you're trying to trick the animal. If you're using nature, you're trying to just convince the animal. But yeah, deception's you're gonna have a pretty big penalty on deception here, like at least a -4.
Varsha is just sitting at the table, kind of shaking her head.
I got 19 plus 3 nature.
Okay.
And I've just gone over to while holding. I'm still holding the disc with the squirrel. I grab another smaller, similar sized plate from the bar and do the thing that people do to animals where they just shake it a little slowly, so not to scare it, but to grab its attention.
Okay. It looks at the plate, then it looks at you. And what is your armor class?
19.
Okay. It does not successfully bite you, but it tries to.
Hey, be easy. Look at the plate. Come on.
Is he still hanging on to the
Oh yeah,
disc?
for dear life.
Okay, Swift is going to walk over, look at the animal, look at the squirrel, and go, drop it. And I'm going to use commanded animal.
Okay.
Which I guess you issue an order to an animal, attempt a nature check against the animal's will DC.
Okay.
And yeah, let me, I guess, try that.
The DC is a 20.
Okay, so that was a 16. 12 plus 4.
It looks at you and scrunches up its little squirrel face and unleashes what is most likely a entire stream of obscenity in squirrel. If you speak squirrel, then you know that it's swearing at you. If you don't, you're pretty sure it's swearing at you.
Definitely don't speak squirrel because I don't even know what that would be.
Beast speech usually.
Oh, I don't think I have anything like that. So I'm just gonna pause for a second.
Okay.
And I'm gonna not use command or anything. Just kind of look at the squirrel and go, "Are you cursed too?"
The squirrel does not react to that in any appreciable way.
Okay.
Ogwish will point out, I'm not sure that this is helping with the goblin situation. Just a thought.
Tar decides to Ogwish. That seems to be the first thought anyone's had in several minutes.
I mean, I understand that, Ogwish, but this disc, do you know how old this thing is?
Do you know how old the world is?
Yeah, this is older than that.
There are many old things in the world, but how does this old item help with us going to the glassworks to try to figure out why the goblins are being so ornery?
I don't know if it does, but something's going on with Joe here.
Well, even if it is, Ogwish raises a good point. We need to beat those glassworks by midnight, whereas I don't think Joe's going anywhere.
I think we can come back to this potentially. I mean, if you want to keep trying, feel free, but I think I will join, and I kind of look at Tarn, just sort of actually noticing him for the first time. New friend. I will join new friend, and we will go to Glassworks. If you wish to continue to, and I look at the squirrel, be bested by a creature of the nature, I wish you luck.
Swift is just going to kind of look at really closely at that squirrel and see if she notices anything unusual about it other than, it's a squirrel.
It seems to hate you.
Yeah.
Not just you. It seems to just hate
everybody.
Just a lot of hate coming out of that squirrel.
So she's gonna look up at Hero and go, I think for now we should just put that back.
Shiro just
investigate that later.
Takes a look at everyone and has a moment of self-realization that he has been arguing with the squirrel, essentially.
After trying to steal from the squirrel.
Sighs.
After forcibly removing the squirrel from its home.
Fine. And then he takes a special look at Ogwish and then the squirrel. Stalemate. Just want to clarify, stalemate. And then he pushes the squirrel not back into Joe's pocket, but just safely on his lap.
The second you let go, it like pulls the thing really close to itself. Makes a very loud chittering sound as if someone's grandmother was telling you off for having tried to snatch their purse, and crawls back into that pocket lickety split.
I'm just gonna point at it as it's crawling away and hissing at me. Yeah, don't think I won't be back.
Ogwish just kind of like shakes his head.
We'll look into that. We'll look into that later. But I think we should probably make our way to this Glassworks place and do the special knock at midnight, I guess.
Varsha gets up and sets Maisie, her rat, on her shoulder in kind of a safe spot.
Safe.
Yeah, Ogwish will point out to Shiro, she has a rat. Would you like to fight the rat? I think,
No.
and I look at the rat. I look at the rat. My money would be on the rat.
Yeah, at this point, I'll put a gold on the rat, I think.
You can't put it on the rat and then fight the rat. That's fight fixing.
No. So one of the notes of things that I have is that Shiro likes to gamble.
Yeah, but it's one thing to like to gamble. It's another thing to throw a fight with a squirrel or a rat.
Shiro's also betting against himself. Nice.
It's more about like I will bet that I could still beat the rat, but I like Maisie, so I'm not going to fight the rat.
Well, I just figured since you were fighting woodland creatures, we could, arrange for something on travel. I was trying to help.
As you guys are giving him a very hard time about his, inability to defeat small rodents, a very harried and pale halfling comes in the door.
Sorry, we already have one of those.
You all know him as the sheriff of the town.
Yeah, I'm not pale.
And he's like, "Oh, thank God I found you. There's trouble. There's trouble up the hill
again."
No, up the hill. Yes, we were just heading
Is that where the Glassworks are?
Which hill, Sheriff?
The old church, the new church. It's both. Yes, yeah, we rebuilt it.
Oh boy,
it's up the hill.
Oh, the old new church.
Father Zentrum just called me and told me. Well, he actually, he sent a little boy with a note. But regardless, he let me know it's awful. Someone's broken into the crypt.
Oh boy.
About what time is it? Are we getting into that?
It's like
time where we're supposed to be at this meeting.
It's like 10 o'clock at this point. I'm gonna say you guys spent an hour doing all the things
squirrels?
with Joe and fighting squirrels. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go check it out.
All right, come on this way then.
As we're leaving, I'm gonna carefully fold that letter from Tsuto and tuck it into my pocket and do another one of the investigator things. Since we have a potential clue, I can designate the subject related to that clue as the target of my active investigation.
Okay.
This has mechanical ramifications later, but I'm going to designate Tsuto as the target of my active investigation.
Okay. Y'all follow the sheriff up the hill. It's interesting because the goblins didn't go to the they came from the other side from the area that's on the lowlands near the coast. Up the hill, as far as you knew, nothing had been happening. And you don't see any signs of goblins. But when you get up to the old/new church, as everyone seems to call it, the front door has, to say it's been broken down would be like saying that, the Hindenburg was a minor oopsie. Like it's smashed into flinders. There's nothing left of it. But that's not the weird part. The weird part, Tarn, as you immediately notice, is that the flinders are heading out of the church.
Like something broke out of it?
Uh-oh. Yes. Something broke out of it, and the thing that broke out of it smashed the door into pieces.
Oh boy.
I'm going to just scan the vicinity for anything big enough to smash a door that big, that hard.
Well, you don't see anything like that. It doesn't. No. The only thing you notice is that there's also. You should make a perception.
I was going to say, can I start looking for tracks?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask.
It smells like magic then.
Dirty 20.
18.
Okay. Between those two rolls, there are tracks, but they're extremely odd in that they are very wide across, but very shallow.
Like duck feet?
I mean, they aren't shaped like duck feet, but they're it's similar to the way a duck foot would not go very far into the dirt.
Right.
It's similar to that, except these are round.
That's weird. Is there any like toes or is it just circles?
Just circles.
How large?
Approximately, using yourself and Tarn as a comparison, if you or Tarn lay down in them, your head would go to the center point.
6 feet across?
Oh my god!
And the other weird thing is there's only one of them.
I was
There's
going
one
to ask
footprint?
you. I was going to ask you to measure this on a dinner plate scale, but that's clearly inefficient.
Yeah, no, it would be a lot.
There's just one?
Well, there's like one, and then another in front of it, and another in front of it, and another in front of it.
Like it hopped.
Yeah, maybe. Hard to say, but definitely. The rolls were good enough that I'll throw this in. One of them, like there'll be a completely circular one, and then the next one is mostly circular, but kind of has stuff coming out the edges, and then circular, but with weird stuff coming out the edges, like lobes.
Low?
Yeah.
Could I make any kind of guess as to what sort of creature would have made tracks like this based on my anatomy lore?
You've never ever seen anything in your anatomy
Okay.
studies that would do that.
Okay, so this is a totally unknown kind of creature.
So would survival tell me anything about it or nah?
Survival tells you that this is not natural.
Okay.
There's you have never in all your years seen this.
But like arcana, occultism, none
Yep.
of that would tell me anything.
Arcana makes you think it's probably something magical.
We should probably investigate inside and find
Interesting.
what containment was in place that might tell us what this is.
Maybe we found like a remnant of it too, maybe.
Before we go inside, can we see what direction the tracks are going towards? Like
The
back
tracks
down?
go forth from the church, but when they get to the hillside, the rocky area makes it much harder to determine if they may just not go very deep because it's such a broad thing. You're not sure how heavy it weighed.
Are they going towards the town, away from the town?
They're going away from the church, which is
Away from the church.
That's what you got in terms of towards, or they could have turned easily to go towards the town, or they could have turned easily to go towards the glassworks, or they could have turned easily to just go up the hill.
That's what I was wondering is it going towards the glassworks? Okay. All right. Let's go inside and see what the damage is in there.
As you guys step inside, the first thing you see is Father Zethron, who is the replacement priest who came up after the previous priest died. He is like sitting there wringing his hands, and the reason that he's wringing his hands, you think, is the enormous hole that's been punched in the floor.
Is it
It's
round?
It's not round, but it's not square or anything. It's just a gigantic. It's like, it looks like if you took cobblestones and put them down, and then you had a giant fist smash the whole thing up.
Okay.
Like if you were punching a peanut brittle, a thing of peanut brittle that was like 20 feet across, and you smash your hand through it. It looks like that.
Does he look
down? If I look down the hole, do I see anything?
Well, we're gonna go with what
Yeah, go with
what Varun was asking first. What were you asking, Varsha?
Does he look injured at all? Is he okay?
He's pale as a ghost. He's sweating, and he's an older man. His hair is like white and gray, but he doesn't look injured. He doesn't look like anything has touched him. He's just like, what would do? How could this?
Did you see anything, Father?
I came back to the church after I was ministering to the injured in the town. Desna wants us to aid the sick and the injured, and I came in and there was a smell. It was a fetid smell, a decaying smell. I spend a fair amount of my time around the dying and the dead, and it was like that kind of smell. And then I saw the hole. Like, I hadn't even noticed that the door was destroyed because I just hadn't. I was so out of my experience. Why would anyone do this?
Well, your question's about to get a lot weirder, Father, because if you look at that door, you'll notice it's actually smashed outwards, as though something was trying to leave, not trying to get in.
He looks at you like, what?
There's
What could possibly want to leave? There's nothing here.
now that is a good question.
What is under the church? This is a hole coming like in the floor.
Yes, it's literally like, if you look at the way that this place is set up, it is a large, kind of like a lozenge shape. It gets a little narrower as it goes towards the nave. There are like pews on both sides, but there's like a wide area that people could walk to and from, like because when you do ceremonies, people like walk up to the nave, walk back from it. There's an altar up there with the butterfly winged angel-like form of Desna is represented in a copper and gold statue. Mostly copper, quite frankly. Not a lot of gold on it.
So can I see anything down the hole or nah?
That's where we were going with this. The hole literally comes up out of that area where people would walk in and out. And it's, as you're looking at it, you can see there's like little bits of stonework. There was some kind of circle here, and now it's gone. And there's pieces of stone all over the place. A couple of pews have been destroyed by looks like they were destroyed by rock hitting them.
Hey, Father, was there something on the floor, like a design or something on the floor here?
Yeah, we consecrated it to Desna, because that's
when did you do that?
As we were rebuilding the place, like a year, maybe 2 years ago.
You know how this is the new old church, right?
Yeah, no,
was the old church also Desna?
I mean, yes, Desna. She is one of the most beloved deities of the Varisian people. There were other deities invoked and worshipped here from time to time, but it is a holy place of Desna. We were reconsecrating it because we were putting the crypt in for the late father.
So the crypt is under the church?
Yes, yeah. The way in, you could literally walk down here. There was a stone door. You could manipulate it, but that's gone now, and it would slide up.
And that's what was destroyed, as whatever it was apparently made its way out of the crypt. This is gonna be a question I think I know the answer to, Father, but was there anything buried in that crypt besides the previous father?
No. His daughter vanished. We didn't have a body to bury for her. And no, the goal was that people who chose to and who felt close to Desna could be buried here in her embrace, but we hadn't opened the church yet. Like the Sandpoint Festival was to open it.
Can I check if he's lying or not telling the whole truth?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he lying to me?
Sure. I'm gonna say, yeah, we'll go with perception again.
I'll roll one of those. That's
25.
18.
Okay. You don't think he's lying. I mean, maybe he's just an extremely good liar, but he seems genuinely distraught. And whilst it is possible to be so good you can fake all the physical signs, you generally think that this is genuine. You think that this is an actual confusion and panic on his part. He does not seem to know what is happening.
Father Zethra?
Yes?
When this church was rebuilt,
We've been rebuilding it for years.
Right. Who was in charge of the construction?
It was more like the people we would get together, the townsfolk would come up.
Did anybody design the new church?
We were just reconstructing it.
Oh, is this what the old church looked like too?
Yes, it wasn't.
Okay.
It didn't require a lot of designing.
It's not like a brand new building. Okay.
No.
Did the old church have the circle in the?
I know. We didn't have a crypt in the old church, but we decided to put one in so we could have a place to bury, my predecessor. Because
who decided to put that in there?
Me.
Okay.
Well, not just me. The mayor, myself, the sheriff.
Okay.
Miss Lord Tajitsu, who's quite wealthy, several other people. We just felt it was a good idea. We didn't have we couldn't just put him in a graveyard in a graveyard near the water. He was our he was a spiritual leader.
Oh, understood. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we could maybe quickly take a look inside that crypt, but I don't know if
I think we should probably follow those tracks.
maybe, yeah.
Swift
Yeah, I think whatever we're looking for is not there.
Yeah, almost subtly implying that we should go follow those tracks and also check out that warehouse that we're going to look at.
The glasswork.
Yeah, I think those tracks were headed towards the glassworks. We should probably go check that out.
Well, as destructive as it was coming out, that'd be a shame. It'd be like one giant, weird, one-legged bull in a glass shop.
Yeah.
Well,
I would at least like to peek down in the hole and see if there's anything else. Like, is it just all smashed down there? Is there any sign?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see, did this come out of like a tomb kind of thing?
You look down, and the first thing you notice are these two very large columns holding up pretty much the church above it, because it's a very large chamber down there.
Mm.
The large columns are extremely broad. They're somewhat circular, like with marble kind of structuring. You're not sure like what the actual stone is, but it's similarly got dark spots and light spots within it. And they go up. You can't see what they attach to because you're looking down into a hole. There's what looks to be like the remains of a staircase. Like the staircase seems to have been partially destroyed by whatever came through. But if that hadn't happened, you could easily just walk down into there.
Mm.
But you're going to actually have to make a perception check for this next bit.
I just rolled a 12.
A 12, okay. After a couple seconds, you're noticing something kind of unusual, and you look, and you're trying to get it to form in your head, and then you realize there's a slight depression, a big circular depression, in between the other two columns.
Like something smashed into
No,
it, or something
no.
smashed?
Just a small depression, like, something was there.
How big is this on the dinner plate scale or the Tarn height scale?
It's if you put Tarn down there, his head would be at the center point.
Okay, so it's the size of those footprints upstairs. Okay, that's
About half of them.
Okay.
The other half are smaller and have those weird flutings this doesn't seem to have.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. Something came out of here and went upstairs.
So you guys heading to the glassworks?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're going to reassure Father Zethra that we'll take care of things.
Thank you. I've first goblins and now this. Why would anyone do this? I have to go make sure that they haven't disturbed the old father's remains.
Oh, yeah, definitely make sure.
He starts heading down there. Are you guys leaving while he's doing it?
I kind of want to make...
Bad idea to send this guy.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that he's able to get down there and back up in one piece.
The stairs are kind of smashed. We should make sure he's okay.
Yeah, he's actually clambering down, not doing great at it for like an older man trying to climb down a half-shattered staircase, but he's doing his best. As he gets down, he pulls out a key ring because there's a very large door in front of it that is completely intact, not smashed, not messed up in any way.
That's odd.
I have a real easy time climbing and whatnot, so I'll just kind of like walk down the wall.
Gotcha.
And then just make sure
that's your thing.
I mean, I'm a Gripply. That's what I do. And just kind of see what's going on, make sure he's okay.
Tarn, do you get your thing that you got before when you went into the bar? Do you have it here, or do you only have it like once every so often?
I have it technically as often as you want to give it to me, because it says whenever enter a new location, and the descriptions it gives, the samples it gives are a new room or a new corridor.
Okay, Tarn, as you guys
that off whenever you want.
As you guys are doing what you're doing, Tarn, inside Tarn's head, like a chalkboard is being drawn on, like as various things are being sketched onto it, like the door blown outward, the hole smashed upward, the two columns, the doorway. And you notice that the priest, despite the fact that there's a big open space right in front of the door, he seems to like he's on autopilot. He's not really paying attention to the space. He's fiddling with his keys. He walks around it like he thinks there's something supposed to be there. And all of this filters into your head. And just as you're about to say it, it's you're just realizing, oh my, and he sticks the key in the door and the two columns both twitch and start ripping free from the ceiling.
I grab
Oh,
him and we
geez,
get the
that's
hell
not
out of
normal.
there.
Okay. We're going to do this different than usual, but you do want to give me some initiative rolls. Who went down?
I
Just
did.
Ogwin? Did anyone else go down?
I was heading down, yes.
But did you go down?
I'm going to say yes because I wanted to make sure the old man was okay.
So Ogwin and I want to say Varuna. I'm sorry, I keep Varsha. Yeah, Ogwin and Varsha, you guys make initiative checks.
Give me a second, because I have to remember how to do it.
Yeah, I know. It's
Simply the default is that you just make a perception roll. Typically, you roll a perception roll to determine your initiative.
Really? Oh,
Yep.
man.
Yep, that's what it says on the character sheet.
17.
okay.
Yeah, I was just making sure I didn't have anything special from being a monk.
Well, that's a 12 on the dice, but my 12 plus 6, so 20.
Okay. 12 plus 6 is 18.
Oh, 18! Math!
What did you get, Ogwin?
17.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Varsha, you go first. Both of you rolled high enough that I'm going to say that the two pillars are ripping themselves out of the ceiling, and that then means that the entire church is no longer supported.
Yeah. That's kind of. I had that same thought.
Those of us that are sitting on the edge of the hole here are.
Yeah. You hear creaking in the floor, like you know,
boy.
noises.
I don't think I can carry both Varsha and the priest. Can you get out on your own? Because I can get him.
I'm gonna try. Varsha gets down on all fours and makes a run for it. I have a 55-foot move speed when I'm on all fours.
Okay, you do get out of the hole and you're up in the top.
I will call after him. Can you get him?
And at that, like, if it's my turn, you literally are going to see me grab him with all my strength. I have enough that I can pick him up. I'm confident. And then I'm going to spend my focus point to key rush up the wall and out.
Okay. Just going to say you manage it. You get up there. You hear the sound of stone fracturing as one of them is most likely pulled itself free. The other one is still twitching and pulling, and you can actually see the floor shaking. So at this point, guys, just tell me what you do.
I don't think the
Varsha
last...
looks like they're going to have problems. I'll offer them a hand.
Yeah, I was going to try and go over and grab someone and help them up.
I'm just pointing out that you guys are aware at this point. You're all realizing simultaneously what Varsha was just about to say. Go ahead and say it, Varsha.
If the columns are collapsing, this floor is going to collapse. Get out!
Yep.
Yeah, Swift is like booking it.
Yeah, I just ran past you guys at this point. Like, I would just book it.
Yeah.
As you all gather outside, you watch as the old new church of Sandpoint collapses in on itself.
No, we're gonna need an old new church.
I think it's a new
literally
church.
fills in the hole.
New, old, new.
And you're just, he's the priest is like going, he falls to his knees.
Yeah, so I don't think the old church was destroyed. I think this happened.
No, it was burned. It was fire. I remember we put it out. I saw the fire.
Yeah, I think your crypt was trying to get up and leave. Never seen that before.
It would explain the marks on the ground and why the one is perfectly circular and the other one has things coming out of it, bottom and top of pillar.
A piece of masonry rolling away.
Or moving or tumbling end over end.
Yeah. Was there a third pillar down there originally, Father?
Yeah.
Yes, there were 3 pillars.
There were 2 down there when Varsha and I got down there.
There were 2 on there.
He walked around
So
in
it
the empty
appears-
space, yeah.
So we may be on... Tarn has a little notebook out. He's writing, so we're on the lookout for a runaway pillar.
Well, it's going where we're going. Father, you need to get to town. Now.
Doesn't bless you. And he actually casts bless on you.
Oh, what does that do?
It's pretty much the same as the
Father.
D&D spell.
You get a +1 status bonus to attack rolls while within the emanation.
Okay.
And then once per turn, starting the turn after the bless was cast as a single action, the person who casts it can increase the radius by 5 feet.
Oh.
So otherwise, we just get a +1 is really what it boils down to for 1 minute.
We'll find someplace safe, Father.
We have a room over and insert the bar name here because I can't remember it.
Yeah, the Rusty Dragon.
Go to the Rusty Dragon. We have rooms there. You can crash there for now.
He's like just kind of staggering off. He looks completely stunned and, not doing very well at the moment.
Right. Well, shall we carry on and find out why that pillar got up and left?
Yeah, I'm wondering what they built
Yep.
that church on, because I have a feeling whatever they built it on wasn't happy about having something put on it.
Well,
Why?
they built the new church on top of the old church. What did they build the old church on top of?
Exactly. Maybe we should
Well,
just go to
and
the
then they put a
glassworks
crypt on
and
there.
yeah, let's go to the glassworks and see what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember this. The old church was burned down in a goblin attack,
Yes.
and
Probably, yeah.
didn't we have some paperwork from the goblins about some?
Yeah, I have a book.
Yeah.
I have like a diary or something, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
And it said something about like I remember thinking that like the old priest wasn't actually like dead, but I don't remember why.
I wrote down that it was a prayer book to Iomade.
Yeah.
There's a prayer book to Iomade. There was one of the gods worshipped in the church.
Right.
With-
And there was like there were notes in it though, wasn't there?
Notes in Abyssal.
Signed by Ezekiel Tobin? That's what I wrote down.
Ezekiel Tobin was the
yes.
previous priest.
Okay.
Right.
And it was his prayer book.
It was his prayer book, and I was like, why did the goblins have this if they killed him? Like, yeah. Anyway,
Even if they killed him, why would they have kept it?
we need to go to the glassworks because I have a feeling this
Mhm.
Suto guy has a bunch of answers for us.
How much
Okay.
time has passed? Since we got here.
You're getting tight on time. You do
Okay,
need to
we
move.
should move.
I'm gonna book it. Yeah.
Especially now that there's a hostile pillar on the way.
As you guys head
Uh,
towards the glassworks, you're heading up a town. Hold on a second. I have
Wait,
an image to give you.
we don't know if it's hostile. Maybe it's a peaceful pillar. I mean, you can't describe motives to it before we know.
Yeah, but the question is the pillar animate or did something shove it from underneath?
Oh, did you
Both
not
of
see the
those-
ones in the church?
No.
Both
Hey,
of those
let's make something
possibilities.
alive.
Oh.
Those are worrying. Those are worrying possibilities.
Is it alive or using pillar instinct?
Oh God.
Like some
Look,
kind of
these were
pillar
pillars
man.
of the community, and I don't appreciate you besmirching them. Anyway, that's the glassworks.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
I really technically should have taken some effort to get that cross-section deal out of the way, but it's there. You guys will know it's there. I don't care.
Okay, so we're gonna book it over to
Ooh, wow.
Glassworks then.
As you arrive, it's a dilapidated structure. Stone walls, some of which are kind of the worse for wear. It's obviously got glassworking equipment. For instance, there's the large kiln, for lack of a better word, the crucible that they melt things down in, the pouring area. Glass is pretty dangerous to work with. One of the things that can happen with glass is you can be attempting to do some glass blowing and you can inhale at the wrong time and fill your lungs with molten glass. Which
Sounds
is
bad.
yeah, it's a good way it's a bad way to die, but it is a very good way to make sure you die. As you head up, the first thing you notice is the unnatural quiet. There's no sign or sound of birds, no chirping, no insects, things that you kind of like to hear when you're, coming out of the woods and climbing towards a structure on top of a hill.
And is there a obvious delivery entrance?
There's a doorway. If you turn around, if you look at like the part that's kind of facing the bottom of the map,
Yeah.
that's the easiest way in that you can see. There's like a doorway that kind of faces off to the side, and the room that's like A11 and A12 and A13, that area.
And does that
So
look like a
which
storage?
way are we approaching from?
You're coming up from the hillside, so if you see like there's kind of like treads all the way down on the map on the leftmost side,
Yeah.
that's the path up that you've walked up. It's basically a switchback road that's been cut up the hill.
Right.
And yeah, it kind of heads straight at that section, which does look like it might be some kind of storage
Like
area
okay.
or perhaps just a delivery area. There's a very large flat structure off to the side that looks to be a place where carts would go up and possibly be left till they could be unloaded, or possibly, they would leave their stuff on that enormous like stone platform.
Okay.
Any noticeable light?
I mean, there's obviously some torchlight going on.
Okay.
Luke's just gonna casually walk up to the door and kind of shrug, and then knock twice, and then 3 times, and then once. See if anything happens.
The door opens.
Is there anybody there?
You don't see anybody. It's dim in there. There's like a couple of lanterns and some torches. There's another door just past it. As you walk into that room, there's another door. Like if you look at it, there's 2 doors on the very far side of the room. As you're walking in from where you are, you're walking in literally in the door that's by itself in that outer wall. There's 2 more doors, but they're not really doors, they're windows on the wall to the downside. They're just very large windows.
Okay.
And then there's a door straight ahead of you and 2 doors on the wall to your left as you're walking in.
Okay. Can I check for traps or any? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I believe that would be trickery, wouldn't it? Because you're a rogue.
I don't.
Or it might just be a perception check, I think.
Hang on. Oh, trap finder.
Yeah.
That's a rogue feat. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. So it's a +1 to perception for traps. Okay.
Yeah. So make a perception check and add an extra 1.
21.
There's a symbol carved into the floor in front of the door directly on the left wall as you walk in, the first door. There's a symbol carved on the floor of a 7-pointed star that's been broken into sections.
Does it look like that disc?
I'm going to assume you said disc. That's not what I heard, but I'm positive I just misheard you.
Disc.
Yes, it does look like the symbol from the disc, except it has no markings on it.
Does it look like it was recently carved, or?
It's not carved. It's just there.
It's just there. Okay. That's interesting.
It actually looks like it was drawn with a finger, but it's in stone.
Huh. And is it in the way of moving forward?
You couldn't go through that door without touching or dealing with it in some fashion. The door next to it you could get to. The door in front of the other wall you could get to, but not this door.
Okay. I think there... Does it look like a trap, or is it just a thing?
You're pretty sure that this is a magical rune of some kind. You don't know what it does.
So we got a problem, guys. There's a rune in there, and I don't know what it does, because I mean, magic's not really my forte. Any of you got something that can dispel or something?
I do not.
Negative.
We have a class of non-magic users, a whole party of them.
Cool.
Don't you technically have magic?
Me?
Marsha, yes.
No, I have a lot of potions.
Aren't the potions magical? I thought that's kind of how it works.
It's
We are not traditional
magic,
wizardry.
It's science, Matt. It's science. I could throw some fire at it, but I don't think that would help.
Okay.
Maybe we needed a squirrel to throw at it.
Does the rune in any way resemble the rune that was in Drunkicho's pocket?
It's
the dinner
exactly the
plate
same.
size
Yeah,
rune?
that's what I just noticed was it's the same.
Okay.
It's the disc.
Except
literally
the disc was scratched. Like the disc looked like someone had clawed, like a 4-taloned claw had ripped across it. Whereas this is an intact, completely the unmarred rune. Also, that one looked very like it was a silver and platinum type disc. It was like embossed and etched in really well. This looks like it was drawn with a finger.
So I'm going to try something possibly foolish, but the way that scratch was on the disc,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to reach out my hand and do that on the rune.
Okay.
Can I do that?
You can do that.
Okay, I'm going to do that and maybe die, but that's okay. Does anything happen?
Do you have tell me your numbers on your saving throws, all 3 of them.
Wait, which one's is that? The fortitude, reflex, and will?
Thank you. Yes. What's the number on your either fortitude? Actually, yeah. What's your best stat of the 3 or best save of the 3?
Reflex is a +9.
Make a reflex save.
Okay.
DC 15.
12 and 9 is 21. Yeah.
Yep. All right. As you go to do that, there's like a slight prickling. Like you feel like the hairs are going up on your hand, and you manage to pull your hand out of the way so that the blast of like what looks to be arc lightning that goes out of this thing, smashes up into the ceiling, and doesn't hit you.
Wow. Okay. My hair is just kind of like standing up a little bit.
Yeah, you've got staticky hair. Yeah.
Oh, maybe we shouldn't touch the traps.
I think we shouldn't touch that. I don't know if is there a way to get around it?
There's another door, right?
Yeah, there's 2 doors in this room that don't have that in front of them.
Let's try it.
Basically, the one door that you can't, that has that rune in front of it, is the closest on the left wall. There's another door to the side there, and there's another door straight in front of you.
Try one of these other doors. And I'm going to check those doors for traps. Can I do that?
Yep. I'll tell you right now, you don't even have to roll lead. You don't find anything on.
Okay. Does it look like anybody has been through either one of those doors recently?
No. The one that
Cool.
doesn't have dust in front of it is the one with the symbol in front of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Are either of these next to that one?
Yeah,
Are they in a row?
they're not right next to each other, but the 2 on that wall are next to each other. There's about a
maybe
2-foot gap between them because there's a piece of stone there.
Maybe there's a connection into that room from one of the other rooms.
Well, we can check it out.
Let's look for one.
Okay, so you're going through that door?
Yeah.
Okay, the door swings open. It's not horribly rusty, but it doesn't feel like anyone's been here in like at least a few months. The glassworks might just not be having a lot of business. It's a fishing town. But regardless, you swing the door open. This hallway does not have any light sources. You can vaguely see that there's a hallway that goes straight in. The wall kind of bends away from you a little bit. There's another wall. There's like a right-hand turn there, and then there's like a space that you can't really see. It's like, as it seems like the hallway expands, then contracts, and then expands again on the left side.
Which way do you guys want to? I'm just going to. Is it quiet in there?
You're not hearing anything particularly unusual. If there's a usual, like a crucible type situation, they would have banked fires, but you don't know if this place has been operating. You don't know when the last time somebody was in here, so you don't know if they've actually got the molten, the huge fires to make molten glass.
So Swift is just going to pipe up a little bit and go, Sutal, your sister sent us. Where are you at?
You don't get a response back.
And there's no footprints or anything on the floor or anything like that?
I mean, not in this area. You don't see any footprints here.
Okay. Is there any other doors in this room?
There's, if you crane your neck, you can just barely see double doors all the way down the left side. There's like a fairly long journey of about 30 feet away. There's like 2 double doors down that way. You can't see much else. So there appears to be another door on that far wall, but it's in shadow, so it's pretty difficult to see. And you can't see enough on the right side because you haven't really gone very far in. You see that the hallway goes straight, and then there's a right turn, but you can't see around the right turn.
Up for suggestions, you guys.
I'd like to check the other door just to peek in and see if there's anything there.
Which other door?
The one, like, we walked into this door, but weren't there 3 doors outside? There was the one with the trap, and this one, and a third one. Did I make that up?
There was a third one.
I'd just like to peek in and see if there's anything obvious in that one.
Okay. There looks to be a table, big window, and a stool.
Anything on the table, or are there any drawers to rifle through?
Nope.
It
looks to be some kind of like crude eating table, like, where people would just have a meal.
Any sign that people have been here recently?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check.
That's a natural 20, so...
There is a scrap of red cloth in the door.
Okay.
And you recognize the red cloth because it's what Amiko Taijutsu was wearing when she went up to bed. It is the same material. It's kind of a silky fabric.
Okay, I'm gonna grab that cloth and go back to the rest of the group. Or depending on whether anyone followed me or if I just broke the party up.
I think you just broke the party up, but I don't think anybody.
Okay.
No one told me they were going any further in the hallway. So.
Okay.
No, we was waiting.
Yeah, we didn't all run off without you.
After the
break room first.
After the lightning shot up, I was content to just watch Swift walk forward.
Well, I found this, and this looks like it was part of Kajitsu's clothes. Do I have that name right? That's what I wrote down.
Amiko Taijutsu.
Amiko Taijutsu. I'm gonna have to figure out how to spell all this.
It's okay, Liz. I wrote Kaijitsu too in mine.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a kaiju.
Does that Does the cloth look like it was torn or like?
It's a fragment of cloth. You don't know if it was torn or if it was just like a small detail or what have you.
Where'd
But
you find that?
It was caught in the door to the other room. It looked like just a break room, a place for workers to eat, maybe. But there was
That
nothing
was
there.
all that was in there?
Just a table, nothing, no papers, no anything but this.
Anything under the table?
Was there anything under the table?
nope.
No, there was nothing.
Ogwin and Tarn.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna say if we can. Let's see if we can do this. Head up to staff voice chat 2. Let's see if we can all three
Oh
get in
boy.
there. Okay. The two of you both got. I made the roll for you well enough. There's a very faint but distinct grinding sound from somewhere in front of you, somewhere deeper into the glasswork.
Grinding sound.
Yeah, it sounds like if you've ever seen a mill, like a water wheel turning a stone wheel that turns another stone wheel into itself, so things get ground very fine. Sounds vaguely like that.
Do I know enough about glassworks to know if that's a normal sound you hear in a glasswork?
I mean, they do. One of the things they do is they take sand and they grind it as fine as possible. But
Okay. Yeah.
this doesn't sound right. For one thing, it's too. You shouldn't be able to hear that from where you are. Like that would be in the big central area with all the glassworking equipment. You're halfway across the building from that. Secondly, it's just deeper. Like it would be a much larger stone. Like you don't know how big the stones are here, but this one would be very large, probably larger than you would normally have.
Oh dear.
I assume you don't have any specific knowledge of glassworks?
I don't think so.
I definitely do not.
Okay, then that's all you got. There's a grinding sound. It's not necessarily faint so much as it's mostly sound you can feel, not sound you can hear. Like you feel it in your feet, possibly because Ogwin likes to climb on things with his feet and adhere to them, and because Tarn, you're a halfling and they tend to have big feet.
And bare feet.
Yeah, both of you are picking up that vibration. It's like a grinding, but most of the sound is actually not sound. It's vibration. It's feeling.
Ominous. Okay.
Yeah, I think we know where we're headed.
Yep.
So there you are. You're in that hallway. You've got the scrap of cloth and not much else.
So I'll kind of look around and go, does anybody else feel that? I don't even know, like a sound or vibration. Does anybody else hear that? Feel that?
Yeah, it feels like a grinding or a scraping almost.
It's weird, right?
It feels almost like when they would move the large stones for the construction back home.
Where's it coming from?
I point in the general direction that I feel it.
The general direction or further in.
Are we about to be in another building collapse?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, that's
hopefully they didn't build this building out of animated pillars, but maybe we'll find our runaway pillar.
Well, we didn't see anything terribly smashed in on our way in.
This place has a number of doors and windows. We did not circle the entire building.
I want to know who opened the door.
Assuming.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking we should go outside and take a walk around, maybe. Do a perimeter check before we go further in.
Yeah. Good idea, August.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so we'll pop back outside and start taking a little walk around.
What direction do you start?
Let's make it quick.
What direction do you start in?
I guess we'll just go clockwise around the building from where we exit.
Okay. The first thing you notice is that there are quite a few windows. So they're all like a solid 4 to 5 feet. There's like a 2 foot from the bottom of the building to the bottom of the window, and then they go up a solid 5 feet, and are quite. There's big shutters on them, but you feel like they could be opened fairly easily if they needed to be.
From the inside?
Yes, from the inside.
How tall is this building? I didn't ask initially.
It's a converted, really old dungeon of some kind. Like this building has been standing in this area since before Varesia was even a name. You can tell just by looking at it that the architecture and design of it is from an older time. It's been converted. It's got newer things inside of it, like the furniture and so forth. And you don't know if it was a glassworks originally, but it certainly is now.
As we're walking, do all of the walls look like... Do we notice any damage or breaks in any of the walls?
Yes, but they look to be old.
Okay.
Like there's missing parts of a tower. There's no giant holes that screaming big monster column burrowed through here. There's just a lot of wear and tear on the building. It is, as you're passing around, you start to realize, none of you actually, yeah, okay. I'm trying to think of Varsha. You start to at one point as you're walking by, you kind of stick your hand out and scrape your fingers across the wall and look at it. And you realize that this thing is caked in a very fine grit. And you realize that this isn't stone.
Okay.
It's glass. The building is made out of glass, like volcanic glass, like obsidian. It's very dark and pitted, and there's basically powdered glass on the structure. Like it's been ground by time. The building is got a bunch of this glass dust on it.
I will point this out to everyone else. That's a very unusual construction method.
Glassworks are literally made out of glass.
Yeah,
Weird.
glass.
Is there an equivalent to a history check we can do to see if this happens anywhere else?
I'm pretty sure there's history or lore.
Lore. I've got lore legal.
I mean, I don't think lore legal would necessarily do much for you, but if you really want to roll it, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would help me much.
What did you get?
12.
Okay. You know that there's no particular law in this part of the Varisian area about what you can make a glassworks out of. I mean, people would not encourage you to make it out of wood because wood burns really well and there's a lot of molten glass around, but there's no specific law saying, it's got to be made out of stone or it's got to be made out of glass or it's got to be made out of pine trees. There's just no law that you can think of that would tell people they couldn't build this thing out of glass.
Would I make a crafting check to, based on my knowledge of constructing things, to say, okay, when did, who would construct things out of glass? When were people making buildings out of glass?
Yeah, you don't even need to roll because it's like folk legend in the area in this, Sandport and it's in the regions around it, that there used to be a lord of magic that ruled the area and built all their structures were built out of glass. They conjured it into existence, as far as you can, as anyone in the stories, they conjured it into existence. In fact, this glasswork actually uses the glass here. They're literally melting it back down to use in construction. That's why it hits you. That's why it looks so dilapidated. They're actually taking the glass out and using it to make new glass.
Are there any other buildings in town that are crafted like this?
No.
Okay. Have we run across any other entrances into the building?
Yeah, actually, as you're walking around, you'll go all the way to the top and north, and there's a double door at what's A18 on the map. And then you go down, and that's basically it. There's another double door entrance at A16 all the way down and around. So when you head out, windows, double door, windows, double door, and then the doors that you walked in.
You want to try a different entrance, you guys?
Well, I wasn't a fan of the dark hallway with potentially suspicious vibrations under it.
The lightning rune thing didn't really make me happy.
Yeah, your hair is still a little frizzy. A little bit.
We should keep our eyes open for more.
Yeah, if there's one, there's
just
likely
in
more.
case.
We can definitely try another entrance if we can find one, but I just want to kind of make sure that we can look into any of the windows and see if there's lights or anything else we need to be aware of, or other.
Well, a lot of the windows are on darkened rooms. But as you're heading around south from the double door near the top of the map, you see that there's faint light inside this very large room, and you see that there are big tables. And you see on those tables are carved out chunks of the black rock. That is the black glass rock. That are basically on the tables, and some are in a large, it looks kind of like a mining cart. It's even got like tracks that leads right up to that first very large fire. It's basically a kiln for, you put that on top of you put the crucible on top of it and melt whatever is in it. There's a crucible as well that is literally hanging from chains above that. And then all the way down the room, there's more furniture. You're not sure what it is. You can't really see it. But there's a door. You see the door. You see like red light seeping out of it. You think that might actually be the original central fire that they used to heat up the glass. They basically pipe it down to there. You're not sure how it would be constructed or why it would be constructed like that, but that's what you think you're seeing. Does anybody here have any ability to like see in the dark?
I have low light vision.
Yeah, same.
I have low light vision also.
Okay.
But not
give me
dark
that.
vision.
Good question.
I have simple human eyes. They need adjusting.
I don't actually know if halflings have low light vision or not.
Well, for right now, Ogwyn doesn't see anything else. Versa doesn't see anything else. Swift, though, I don't want to say your elf eyes, but I have to. Your elf eyes see. You can tell Aragorn about it later. They see there's something viscous on the floor near the first large container over the fire. And as you're looking around trying to figure out what it is, you look up and you see Amiko Taijutsu is chained to that vessel. Like literally arms and legs tied around it.
Okay.
And it's being lowered.
She points. Guys, we need to get in there now.
But I can't. What am I looking at?
You guys are right now.
What do your elf eyes see?
Yeah, exactly. You guys are basically, if you look at the map, there's like a circle and then a long flat path and then a circle. You guys are basically at that flat part, that one window at the flat part right there. That's the one that you can see the most light through. That's the one that she is seeing Amiko being lowered into the fire.
All right, I go through the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, can we bust through the window?
Go ahead.
I'm following, leaping in on all fours
Okay.
to make room for it.
As you come through, the window is a typical glass window construction. It opens out. Like from inside the room, you would push it out. So because you don't want to be in a room like this, if a fire happens or whatever, you don't want to be trying to pull the thing in. You want to just shove it out. So it does take you a little time to get it open. Ogwyn and Versa go in, and that's Ogwyn. The first thing you step in is you step in it, and you realize it's blood. Like you know that you're standing in blood. She looks like she has been cut up really well. But it also looks like somebody else. There's more blood here than she could possibly have left.
Does it look like she's alive still or no?
Hard to say. You are far enough away from her. She's up there.
How far away is she and how high up is she?
She is about 35 feet from you and 20 feet up, although she is descending about 5 feet around.
Well, then I guess we're going to just make our way over there as quickly as we can.
I'm running 55 feet around, and I want to use anatomy lore to see, is she alive, as Joe was just doing.
Well, anatomy lore is more like, what do her body parts mean, not necessarily.
Okay. Medicine.
Medicine would be better, yeah. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
That's a 13 plus 8.
Okay.
Yes.
You can see, like, her arms are bound in such a way that you can see her chest expand and contract when she breathes. So you do see her take a breath. She looks very badly beaten.
Is there
the crucible that's underneath her, right?
She's literally chained around it.
She's chained around it. What's underneath her on the floor? Anything?
Fire.
Just fire.
It's being lowered into the fire.
Yeah, the crucible's being lowered as if it would be heated up. Can I climb or make my way over there to get on top of the crucible to start working on the chains?
I think that what's your move?
25 unless I burn a key point, then I can key rush.
So
sorry, focus point.
Liz's character is moving at like
she's moving way faster than
more than twice than that. For Varsha is going like at 55 feet.
Yes.
Varsha can make it there. Varsha can get to the crucible. Varsha, however, can't go up the wall or anything.
How high up is this? This is 20 feet?
It's currently 20 feet in the air. It will probably be within the next 6 seconds, it will be 15 feet, then 10 feet. If it gets to within 5 feet, she is going to start burning.
Swift is looking for any kind of a pulley system or something that is lowering this thing.
Hero wants to help with that.
Okay.
Like, is there a lever or something, or a wheel, or a mechanism?
There is a wheel, and the wheel is up on there's a kind of catwalk area that you can see like around the very, very edge there. The wheel is up there, and as you look at it, you realize that it's not like just turning and turning and turning like someone left it, like kicked a block out of it and left. It's turning, and then it stops, and then it turns again, and it stops.
Is there a person up there?
No.
Hey, how is there a ladder or something to get up there?
Yeah, it would basically be, if you look at that table with all the glass on it,
Yeah.
the table, if you go past that table, there's a ladder at about the midway point of that section of wall.
The
So 10, 15, 20 feet away
wheel,
from her.
the wheel, what's it made out of?
Maybe wood. Low light vision doesn't mean you see perfectly, and it's up there, and wood's likely, but you're not sure.
So I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I will key rush while they're doing that. Key rush will allow me to make 2 strides, so I will be able to move 100 feet.
Okay, that'll get you in there.
And get up there, and then start working. Then that's 1 action, and then I will start to see if I can free her from the chains, whether she's locked on or is she manacled on. What's going on?
They're literally like dungeon chains that are wrapped around the entire thing. So as you get up there, you have to make a hop from the wall to get actually onto the crucible. It's already uncomfortably warm.
That is a 23 on acrobatics.
Yeah, I was going to let you just have it. As you start working on this, these are real manacles. In fact, they're extremely thick manacles, like what slavers might use. As you're working on them, she twitches her head a little bit and looks up and like opens one eye and goes, "Oh shit! I don't think you should be here right now."
Well, neither should you, so we have that in common.
You hear a very loud crashing sound as the door all the way over, the one that kind of has the weird flickering orange-red light coming out of it, explodes outward.
Oh boy.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Could I have a Tanglefoot bag, which is a thing filled with sticky stuff that can immobilize creatures. Could I try and throw that at this wheel that's lowering the lowering
Crucible.
Amigo into this? Yeah.
Sure. Make an attack roll.
Oh boy, which dice should I use?
A good one.
A lucky one.
I rolled an 18, that's 18 plus dex plus, hang on, throwing a potion is 18 plus dex plus proficiency, so 18, 19, 20, 21, proficiency. I don't know where proficiency is on me. Well, it's 21 plus something.
Yeah, you hit. So
Okay.
what does the Tanglefoot bag do exactly? Like, does something have to roll a save here or something?
Hang on. Tanglefoot bag filled with sticky substance. When you hit a creature with a Tanglefoot bag, that creature takes a status penalty to its speed for 1 minute. Also grant on a critical hit, a creature in contact with a solid surface becomes stuck to the surface and immobilized for 1 round.
Okay. That doesn't really apply here because it's constantly immobilized to a spot. It's not like it walks around. I will say though that its turning is greatly slowed. So instead of turning like 5 feet around, it's now 5 feet every other round.
Okay.
So you've bought them some time.
That's something.
But as you do that, the door explodes down there and out slithers a flaming molten column that is like twitching like a snake or a worm.
Oh no!
And on it is carved the
culprit.
7-sided Sihedron symbol.
Oh boy.
And the Sihedron symbol is like glowing, like bright orange for the heat that is soaked within this stone structure that is now a moving thing. As it begins to make its way out of that area, you hear a voice. It basically just comes from everywhere and nowhere. It's like a booming voice, possibly projected through magic in some way. Like, well, my beloved sister killed all my goblins and hobgoblins, so I had to do the next best thing. Since I had a job to do anyway, and I did that. I did my part. The goblins failed. The goblins are just so unreliable. I'm afraid you're all going to have to die. Can't let you interfere. She would not be happy if I let that happen. So yeah, have fun. Die well or die poorly. It really doesn't matter to me. I have nothing personal against you. I just hope you know that. Just need to get you out of the way. So yeah.
Do I see where the voice is coming from?
Everywhere. It literally sounds like the air in the room is making the sound.
And
I will let you make a perception check. The DC is 30.
There's no way I can make that even with a natural 20.
I'm gonna because I could try to make that. I have a +1 because it sounds like the subject of my investigation.
Oh, is that you just get a +1 for that?
Yeah, whenever you tell a perception or skill check to investigate designated subject, you get a +1 circumstance bonus to the check.
Okay, well you do get
Either
a
that
+1.
or I can give that bonus to someone else.
It would be impossible for me to make that roll.
I rolled a 19.
What's your pluses on perceptions for anybody who hasn't rolled? Mine's a 7.
Mine is, mine is a 6.
7.
So yeah, there's no way for us to do it unless, Pathfinder rules.
I believe a natural 20 on the dice is still considered a crit, right?
No.
Oh, right, because we're doing that. Yeah, never mind.
Give me a sec. Because I know it's been a long time, and I'm trying to go through the rules real quick.
This is essentially, it would require a master level check to get that. That's the difficulty.
I'm seeing if we can bump that up.
While he's checking, just quick clarification. So this thing, as we're looking at the map, this thing has slithered. If we're still in that same long room, there's 2 sets of double doors in the bottom-ish of that room.
Yeah, no, it came out of the one door that was in front of that orange space down there.
Got it. Okay.
That was literally like a chamber full of fire. Like it was it's where they heat up the bellows to turn this thing into a melting glass area.
Okay.
All right. And they just literally crawled out of it. It's like seething in fire now.
Is there anything else on fire?
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Because it's coming. Sorry, Joe. Because it's coming out of the fire, has anything else caught on fire?
Not yet.
Okay.
So there is an action in Pathfinder called Aid. An ally is about to use an action that requires a skill check or attack roll, and the requirement is that the ally is willing to accept your aid with that particular action. You can help your ally with the task. To use this reaction, you must first prepare to help, usually by using an action during your turn. You must explain to the game master how you're trying to help, and they determine whether you can aid your ally. When you use your aid reaction, you attempt a skill check or attack roll of a type decided by the game master to see if you can aid them. If you critically succeed, they get you grant a +2 circumstance bonus to the triggering check. If you're a master with the check or attempted, the bonus is a +3. For legendary, it's +4. If you just succeed, it's an additional +1 on the triggering check. If you critically fail, you take a -1 to whoever is accepting the aid. So who has the highest perception? I have a +7.
Yeah, yours is higher than mine.
I have a 7.
I have a +9, but I roll.
So, well, let's go with Short Columbo King here. So you have a +7. You have a +1 circumstance bonus. So that's 8.
Because it's suit time. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We can attempt to give you the aid action to bump that up and give that a higher circumstance bonus. So I will, while I'm at a higher vantage point, try to triangulate or pinpoint where the voice is coming from in a general area to direct where they should look. What would you like me to roll in order to give my aid? And then I figure that Anne can do something similar so that we can bounce off each other to sort of try to help triangulate where Tarn should be looking.
I'm going to say survival.
For both of us?
No, for him.
Okay.
You have Arcana, you said.
Yeah, I do.
You're going to need to roll Arcana.
Okay.
Well, I've got an 18 on the dice and a +7 on survival, so that's a 25.
Okay.
So you tell me.
16 on the dice +6, so 22.
I need to know, does the thing say does it say I tell you how difficult that's supposed to be?
You tell us how difficult it is for us to give aid.
Okay. I'm going to say for you, it's an expert difficulty check, and for Swift, it is a. Well, you have how much? You have a 6 on your Arcana.
Arcana, yeah.
I'm going to say it's an expert for her as well. So both of you need to have rolled a 20.
I rolled 22.
And I rolled
Okay.
the 25.
All right, then
That is
don't
exactly.
know. You both aid him.
This is
Yeah,
how-
because we're
this-
triangulating.
We're basically trying to help coordinate where he should be looking. We're like eliminating sections of the room or
And my
something like
question is
that.
just: does he get what bonus does he get exactly?
He gets a +1 from me because we succeeded. It wasn't a critical success. He's going to get a +1 from Anne, which gives him +10. So he can, on a critical success, make that 30.
Oh boy!
All right,
Cross your fingers, man.
you heard him.
Alrighty. Rolling perception. Nope. Let's see. So I'm adding 10 to this. Is just a 26.
Okay, you don't know where it's coming from.
We don't have any hero points to burn, do you?
My character sheet says I have one. I don't.
You would have one, yeah. If you haven't used it
Okay.
in anything,
So technically,
I
you could
understand.
re-roll it, right?
Yeah, why not?
You can do it if you want.
Where this guy is. Boop. Nope. Just a 23 that time.
Because you didn't roll enough, you don't know
Trying,
where it's
man.
coming from. But because you rolled relatively well, even so, I'm going to tell you that you're positive that the voice is impossible. Like, you've done this, you've been doing this for years. You know what it
Like,
sounds
it's
like when
not-
somebody yells
yeah.
stuff at you from, no one is talking to you. There is
But
no
this is like
sound.
someone magically projecting.
Yeah, there is no actual sound coming to you. You're not hearing it. You're
It's
just
like in our head.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's turn to the more pressing troubles of Lady lowering into fire plus big flaming worm pillar.
Yeah.
At this point, guys, I am 6 minutes from an end. Like, I have to be done by 3:30 my time.
Ooh.
Cool.
We
so
can
do we
end
wanna-
with suspense.
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
say literally as you guys are clambering about trying to get her off of the crucible, and the big flaming rock tentacle, for lack of a better word, is like humping its way across. And one thing is you get to see how it moves.
It's inchworming, isn't it?
Oh,
Not
Oh
quite.
boy.
It smashes the front of the pillar into the ground, and then brings its
Oh my
other
God.
end up.
It's a slinky.
Okay, it's a
It's a
caver.
slinky.
Yeah.
it's a giant rock slinky.
Yeah. So you see it smash its head down. It's the head of the column, and then flip, boom, the foot of the column, and that's like it's just coming up again, and it's the column front with that star thing carved into it is now glowing bright red, and it grinds itself to try and make a sound.
That's the grinding
that's awful.
sound. All right. Yep. Fantastic.
That's where we call it for this session.
I'm just picturing like this giant molten pool noodle.
Yeah, kinda, really.
I totally expected something different from Medieval Grinder. This is not it.
But yeah, so
Beast thou down.
that's this session. I think by next session, you guys, if we can get it like a little bit more, if we got an extra half hour this week, we probably could have gotten to a good point to finish this thing off next week. No, not next week. Whenever we play next. The next time we play, it should be finishable within 2 hours.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Cool.
But, it depends on how long you guys spend fighting a squirrel.
Look, that squirrel was important
My
because it had
bad.
the rock thing. I'll bet you the squirrels.
I would just like it pointed out. I would just like to point out that the squirrel encounter, and I'm looking at my time markers here, was exactly 42 minutes.
40.
Nah.
Look, it
Come on,
didn't feel like 42.
It didn't.
Oh God.
There's
From the
All
start,
right.
from the start of the drunk escapade to the us finally deciding to go up the hill, it was almost 42 minutes.
So the squirrel
Okay,
was
man.
the end of that. The squirrel
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
the-
So Shiro took a very long time to lose to a squirrel. Is what I mean.
It was an epic battle. It was a draw, Shiro yells.
stalemate.
Stalemate. Stalemate. Yeah.
Stalemate.
You didn't bite the
Not
squirrel.
over.
Squirrel bit you. So
So yeah,
Hey, this is Pathfinder tabletop. We're supposed to rob people. Everyone's got something good in their pockets.
Oh dear.
that's Baldur's Gate 3 logic talking.
yeah. Well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So yeah, we hopefully will get to wrap this one up and go next time we play and move on to the next adventure. things are sort of falling into place. Some of the changes I made went in places I wasn't expecting them to. But thanks to everybody for playing. I hope you guys had fun. If you got anything you want to tell me about it, the game, now's a good time.
Was the squirrel part of the plan?
The squirrel was improvised.
I'm just curious about these
I
things.
improvised the squirrel because otherwise you guys would have just yanked the thing out of his pocket and.
Was the sheriff also improvised because it had sort of the GM get everybody on track panic about it?
No, he was supposed to show up.
Okay,
that's actually in the module. I feel like the module has.
Yeah, GM I was going to say it feels like then the module sort of wrote that in because it was like the exact perfect thing of you guys got to get moving. Yeah,
these players are never going to They're never going to leave that room if you don't do something, man. Well, here he is, the sheriff. No, he's right.
Who's to say he's not both?
Yeah, he is. He is right there in the module. So, all right, guys, thanks you very much for listening to us do this. We will be back when we're back hopefully next month.
Pool noodle battle.
They're gonna to the death with the stone slinky of fire.
Hopefully, we'll do better against it than we did against the squirrel.
Hopefully.
Well, as long as Cher doesn't try to trick it, I think we'll be okay.
Fair.
It was a peace offering.
The way that thing rolled, it rolled a natural 20 on its will check.
Oh man!
On it.
Oh,
come on! The girl was like, "No!"
It hates us now.
Just a reminder that in Pathfinder, their natural 1s and natural 20s don't really matter.
No, but it's the check required.
Yeah,
like a 15,
I know.
So yeah.
The check on command says that if it's like, that squirrel hates us. Like legit, that squirrel hates us now.
Yeah. The 20 does matter if you succeed, because I had enough time to look up the skill rolls while we were trying to triangulate. And if you get a natural 20, you get 1 degree of success higher than what the number says you would get normally.
There you go.
So if I had succeeded on that roll where I needed a natural 20 to succeed, I actually would have gotten an extra degree of success.
Yeah.
So we were either going to fail or triangulate really well.
Excellent.
But all right. I guess we're done. Joe, I guess you can stop the recording. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.